To read this vulnerability details, you start by the remote Windows host affected by multiple vulnerabilities. Here's the description. And here is the solution for those multiple vulnerabilities. So the admins need to upgrade this server because it have multiple vulnerabilities. As you can see here, the discovery, it was discovered 1 day ago. The last observed is 1 day ago also. Here's the host information again. In the asset criticality rating, it's 5. This rating is calculated by Tenable. As you can see here, here is how it calculates the asset criticality rating. This rating can be changed from the assets. I will show you how to do that. And here is the asset exposure score. We have the risk information. We have the common vulnerability scoring system. We have version 2 and we have version 3. And we have the exploit information. There is no exploit or non-exploit for this vulnerability. Here's the plugin details. This is the Tenable plugin details. Here's the VPR, vulnerability priority rating. This is also from Tenable. It's very good to check. You have, let's say, the threat recency. We don't have anyone is talking about this right now or this vulnerability right now. It was published in 2016, and here's the reference information. So here is all the information about this vulnerability. If you need to accept this risk, you can accept it. If the admin told you that they updated the server and they need to confirm if this vulnerability was closed or not, you need to launch a remediation scan. I will not click it right now. Let's go to options. We can export the findings here or save the queries, open a ticket for this vulnerability. So let me show you what the launch remediation scan will do. It will create a scan, and this scan only it will scan for the plugin ID 92018, and all the configuration here is done automatically. I prefer to add a credential and then submit. If the Tenable Security Center did not see this vulnerability again, this will be transferred to the mitigated vulnerabilities. This is how we can read the analysis. In the analysis, you have queries, the queries for the filters that you created, the events that we have from the other Tenable systems. So let's go back to vulnerabilities. In the cumulative, we have other findings. Let me show you. This is a CentOS. Let's filter on the severity. Here we have the high and medium vulnerabilities. Let us check this one. It have missing updates, and you need to update the package. This is a new vulnerability. As you can see here, the exploit information published by 10 May. The plugin is 10 May. It's not a very new one, but it's in 2022. It's first published in December 25, 2021. Now let's get back to our vulnerabilities. Again, everyone, if you want to start patching your systems and you do not know how to start doing that, please go to severity, to critical, exploit, yes, just apply. I need to refresh my page. As you can see here is all the vulnerabilities that have an exploitation. So please start by patching them. And here's by IP summary, we have the domain controller. It's a critical asset and must start solving the vulnerabilities or patch the vulnerabilities for this asset. This is all for the analysis tab. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Hello everyone and welcome to this new lesson from Tenable Security Center course. Today we'll talk about solutions. After finding all the vulnerabilities, what should we do? A good way to start finding or prioritizing the solutions, go to the solution tab. Don't select anything, just wait until the page loaded successfully. As you can see here, we have this KB from Microsoft. It's related to Windows 10. If we apply this, it's related to Windows 10 and Windows Server 2016. If we apply this KB, the risk will be reduction to 35%. So we have vulnerabilities, 67 vulnerability related to this KB. The VBR is 10. The CSV version 3 is also 10. So this is the most important vulnerability to be patched to reduce our risk. If you click on this vulnerability, it will show you the hosts affected by this vulnerability, and it will show you the plugins, the 67 plugin, and the VBR and CSV version 3 for each one of them. So this is the first way to prioritize the fixing overall your environment. But what if we have another scope? You can choose the prioritization according to the assets that you have. So if you need to apply it for a specific or to find out the solution for a specific group, let's say the Linux hosts, we can choose the targeted assets from here. So if we are trying to fix or to patch all the vulnerabilities related to Linux only, we don't want Microsoft for some reason, so let's go and choose Linux host, and you will find here this solution must be applied to reduce the risk by 35%. And if we choose only to patch the Windows hosts, we choose them, and again it will show us this information. This is a good way to start fixing and protecting your organization. Please try it. Thank you for watching this video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this new video from Tenable Security Center course. Today we will talk about the assets. Assets are very important because it shows us the variety of our targets. You need to log in as a security analyst or manager to get to the assets tab from here. You can find out that Tenable has many assets or defined assets. It's 36 items, as you can see here. In the assets tab, you have filters here to find out the results quickly, but I don't need them for right now. I will show you some what the meaning of the assets list. If you check this one, its name is Linux host. This means that in this asset list we have the Linux hosts. If you click on it, you will find here the name, the description, and here is the definition. Here is the condition that show us or that judge that this a target is a Linux asset. What's the benefit for the assets? Assets help us to show the results as we see earlier in another video. We can check the assets here. We can sort or we can check the solution for the Linux hosts. Yes, here it is. So it's a type of gathering the results or findings for a specific targets. Also, it's very important in the scan. If you go to scan and targets, if you need to do a scan for the Windows targets only, you can check from here the Windows hosts, then launch your scan on the Windows hosts only. Also in the analysis, it's very important, you can find out the vulnerabilities for a specific asset summary. Here's the Linux host assets, here's the exploited assets, and so on. Let's go back to the assets. It's very important to know the assets. As you can see here, we have Solaris and so on. In our assets page here, you can check any asset list like the exploited assets and click the view. As you can see, here's the information, the definition, and the owner for this asset list. And if you click here, this is the repository, and here is the IP addresses for the exploited assets. In the option we have the edit only for the asset list. So how we can create the asset list and what is the type of asset list? If we click the add button, we have the dynamic asset list and the static asset lists. The ones, as you can see here, is the common templates for the assets. We have the client application. This list is depending on the client application. This one depends on the OS, and so on. You can check them all. The compliancy, device behavior. So to understand the assets, if we go to OS, we have the defined one. This is Linux, Unix operating system. This is Microsoft Windows Server 2019. All of this is defined and you can use them. As you can see here, we have Nokia and Samsung mobile devices, BlackBerry, Cisco, Firefox OS, as you want. A lot of templates that will help you to group your assets. If you click here, you can check. We have the virtual technology, we have Citrix clients, Citrix servers, HP virtual environment, Oracle, and so on. Let's go back to our asset list. All of those are the common ones, are already defined from Tenable. You can create them. If you go down here to other, you can create an asset list by entering the static IPs that you want or the static IP network. Also, if you click add again, we can create asset list depending on the DNS name. We have a combination between the static IP list and the DNS name, and we have the dynamic. Now to create a dynamic asset list, you can click the dynamic asset list, add the name that you want, the description. Then you need to add a definition or the condition for this asset list. So you can add a group or add a rule. Group means add another group for definitions. We don't want them. Add a rule. In the rule, here's the condition that we want to match the targets or yes, the targets on it. So if you want to choose the plugin ID, you need to add it here. If you want an IP address, you can add it here. DNS, you have a lot of fields that you can filter the assets or choose the assets upon them. Ports, if you need, yes, TCP ports is equal to 443. That means that HTTPS service is running on that host. And you can do a severity, like I need the critical assets, and so on. Exploit available with critical or high, medium severity. So you can define the condition that you want for the dynamic asset list that you want to create. This is the assets and how you can use them in your environment. If you go to host assets, you can find here the assets that you have. Here is the ACR. If you click on the asset, here you can find the host information, and here is the vulnerabilities or findings for that asset. If it's a Windows or Linux you have installed softwares will be listed here, and here is the asset exposure score, it's high, and here is the asset criticality rating, and here is the key drivers for this score. As you see here, you can edit the asset criticality rating. You can increase the rating if you want, or decrease the rating if you want. Here is the reasons for the editing or modifying the criticality rating. If it's a business critical, you put a check here. It's existing mitigation tool and scope for compliance and so on. You can submit. As you can see here, the rating changed to 4. As you can see here, it's say that ACR by key drivers is 7, and depending on those criteria. That's all for the asset tab. Please do some asset lists in your lab or environment to understand them more. And threat detection and vulnerability assessment. On the other hand, we have the advanced. You can create your fully custom dashboard, and you can import any dashboard that you want. In the advanced, as you can see here, you can create you can choose the layout if you want, like this one or this. I prefer to have this one, and submit. Your Tenable Security Center map must have a good memory and CPU, because in the dashboards it will use them heavily. Here's my test dashboard. I don't have any panel in this dashboard. The first way to add is by copying them from the other dashboards. The top 10 IP summary is very good panel. I can copy it. Where do you want to copy it? Here's the name. I want to add it to test dashboard. I can go to another dashboard and add this one. I can choose my custom dashboard as I want. Here is the top IP summary, and here is the executive summary that I copied earlier. Also, you can go here and go to add a component. In the component, it means you are adding panels, so you can create your custom panels, and you can go ahead and choose anyone from here. Let's go with all again. Something you need to note about the dashboards. If you can see here, we have the NS and LCE. This means that this dashboard or this panel needs data from NESIS and LCE to be published. Here is the passive scanner, this scanner LCE. So if you choose a dashboard that needs LCE events and you do not have them, the dashboard will be empty. Right now I am searching for something. Let's choose this one, the configuration management host tab. Click on it. Do you want to focus on all targets or depending on the asset? Here's another benefit for the asset. I need it for all the system. And what's the schedule for refreshing and publishing the data? Here it is. I will add. As you can see here, it's empty. You will need to refresh the panel to add data. As you can see here, I have this data in this new panel. This is how you can create a totally custom dashboard and how to add panels from copying them from other dashboards or adding them from the tab here. You can edit the dashboard to change the layout. You can send it to report. If you want to create a report from this dashboard panels, you can send a report. You can set it as default and you can delete. The default will allow you to it will show you this dashboard once you log into the system and click the dashboard. Now let's add a total dashboard from the system here. You can go to monitoring or executive and choose any report from the template that you have, any dashboard. Again, we have this scanner. This means compliance, active data required, passive data required. This one required LCE, passive, and this scanner. Executive 7 days. We have the mitigation batch rates. We have, let's try to search for mitigation. I'll choose all. As you can see here, we have mitigation summary. I will add it and press add. Here is the mitigation summary dashboard. Refresh all to publish the data. It needs time to publish the data. So I showed you how to visit the dashboard panel or tab. You can switch between dashboards from here. You can add dashboards or panels from this tab here. You can create a custom dashboard and custom panels. Start using the dashboards and doing adding panels and dashboards. We can go to here to this dashboard and send it to report and submit. If we came here to reporting, we will find it here. You can launch the report. And the report results, you need to wait until it completed successfully. Then you can download the PDF version from it. This is all for the dashboards. Try them in your lab to get used on them. And thank you for watching this video. Now let me show you something else in the monitoring section. Let's say we have something named assurance report cards. The assurance report cards is another way to monitor your compliancy or organization compliance. So here in our main page we have this control. As you can see here is the control, and here's the conditions, and your or my organization do not comply with those with the red X. And this one, it's related to remove vulnerabilities and misconfiguration. The first one is greater than 95% of my systems with configuration audit successfully performed in 19 days. Greater than 75% of operating systems are compliant with the configuration audits. So if it's required for me to comply with this controls, I need to keep updating and batching my system or scanning my system as written in this compliance. So let's go and add assurance card. You can go here. Of course, it's a compliance. We have the executives and the compliance. I will change to all. As you can see here, here's the compliance and controls that we will check on our Tenable. We have the BCI requirement. Here's the BCI requirement 6. I can go and add it. If I need to comply with the BCI requirement, I can add the BCI assurance report cards from my templates. It needs a couple of minutes to publish the data here. You can tap on the refresh here. We also can add another assurance card. We have Windows servers. So as a BCI requirement 6, I'm not complying, or my organization is not compliant. As you can see here, also the Windows Server compliance, I'm not complying with it. So it's a good way to track your compliancy in the organization. This is the assurance card or the assurance report cards. It's very good feature in Tenable Security Center. I recommend that you test it in your organization. Thank you for watching this video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this new lesson from Tenable Security Center. We will talk right now about the reports in Tenable Security Center. You can go here to the reports. We have the already defined reports here. Those are the defined reports. You can click anyone. You can view the configuration for this report or launch the report to get the result from it. As we saw earlier in the dashboard lessons, we have the test dashboard from the dashboards. In the report result, we have the result because we launched it. You can open the report by clicking on it. As you can see here in my PDF report. Here's the first page, the information, and here is the dashboard that we have. This is a good way to get a report from the dashboard. If we go back here to the reports, let's check also the images that we can add. You can add your organization image here, and you can add custom attributes like the scope and so on. Let's go back to reports. Of course, Tenable give you a very huge number of reports. You can go to the report templates by clicking the add here. You have the compliance and configuration assessment reports and so on. You can create a PDF report by yourself or CSV report. If you click any one of those, you will have a lot of reports. You can read about them here, and here is what's needed for this report. Let's check this report. Let us check the Microsoft Windows. No, this is Windows 11. I did not scan any Windows 11. Palo Alto, Windows 10. We can add any type of reports. Let us check the executive. Maybe we need to send a report for our executives. We have the vulnerability top 10 executive summary or report. This one is good. It's about critical and exploitable vulnerability reports. Let's go. Here's the sections. You can select them all or get some of them. Where should you focus? You add the targets. Here's the description. Click add here. Then you need, it's the same one from the order. Launch the report. Go to report result. You will find here it's exporting the results to the PDF report. You need to wait until this finish to get your report. While the report is generated from the system, let's go back to reports, because we have here two reports. We can click more and press edit. You can change the name for the report, the description, and start modifying the report options. You can include your organization logo from here, footer logo and watermark, and also you can encrypt the PDF by a password. This is for security purposes if you are sharing this report outside your organization. As you can see here in the definition, here is the paragraph about the report. You can edit anything you want. As you can see here, here is the 1.1 text. You can edit. Those are paragraphs, and you can, of course, let me check. We can add. Yes, we can add element, as you can see here. You can add a text, paragraph, assurance card, report, and so on, anything you want. Here's the hello paragraph that I added. You have the executive summary. Here is the paragraphs. Here's the matrix. Here's the panel that we'll see in the PDF, and so on. We can add a chapter. It will be the last chapter, and submit. We can add element, assurance card report, and here is the assurance card reports that we have.